Good evening and welcome to another nutritional review of food. Today we're talking about carrots, not just eye candy. So I'm going to get my timer started and away we go for 5 minutes. So carrots are actually really close to cucumbers in their nutritional content. The only difference is higher amounts of vitamin A, which give it that sort of red pigment. So in the case of white carrots, that is probably a lot closer to cucumbers. They're a little bit lower in water, 88%. I had to look again. Cucumbers are actually 95% water. Wow. So, carrots have about 1 gram of protein per couple of carrots. So, a couple of small to medium carrots. Not a lot. Again, it's to be expected. They have a little bit of carbs and sugar, but these are actually much slower digesting because of the fiber. So it's more of a healthy type of sugar. Well, not even type. I think the word type of sugar would be is a bad way of looking at things. The fiber helps slow down the absorption so that you don't have an insulin spike. You have it more. You can keep your blood sugars at a more stable level. So mostly today, I actually want to look at one particular B vitamin called biotin. Now, it must be eaten. The body can't make it. Some vitamins it can. It helps with genetic signaling. So let's say you're having an allergic reaction. Your immune system is overreacting. Your cells have to signal that. So biotin helps with the on switch and the off switch. So when you need the immune reaction, you need biotin to help turn that on. When you need to shut that off, you need biotin for that too. So it's an extremely important B vitamin. It's not so uncommon, but carrots do have a very high amount of it. It also helps with protein and fat metabolism, so building up and breaking down properly. We talk about high levels of cholesterol, good and bad cholesterol. Well, really, it's not about what's going into your body, it's about what your body is doing with it. And that's why I'm such a huge promoter of eating healthy foods. Just eating healthy foods. You don't need to take every supplement on the planet. You can get everything you need from food. You really can. Now, maybe there are cases where supplements can be useful. You should really look at your blood work uh, and see where those levels are at. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you, what kind of supplements you need to be taking. You need professional help with that. Now, coming back to the point, biotin works with manganese and magnesium, which carrots do have a little bit of, to help regulate the fat metabolism, also the breakdown, so you can burn more of it. So, overall, it's a very important one. Now, we talked about potassium, and K vitamins are very commonly known about, which carrots are really high in. So, vitamin K helps with clots. When you get a cut, you need the wound to clot so that it stops bleeding, right? You think clots are bad. Well, in some cases they're good. Again, the on and off switch, right? You got to have something to turn that switch off when you need it to so that it doesn't cause problems. Now, looking at protein, I always like to look at the protein content, even if it's a little bit. The highest protein amino acid in carrots, now remember aminos are the building blocks for protein, is glutamine, once again. Very important for gut health. Now, actually, most of the proteins were very similar in their ratios as they were in cucumbers. It was just there was a little bit more protein in carrots than there was in cucumbers. So, thinking about protein for eyes, there's one really important one called glutathione. Now, glutathione is also important for your nerves and for DNA repair and all sorts of things. A friend asked me to cover this, so I will be talking about this. I'd like to do that in a week or two. It's some really deep research, but it's found mainly in broccoli, cauliflower, and asparagus are some of the best foods to get your glutathione in, because you need cysteine and glutamine and glycine to make glutathione to have all these purposes. You need 3 amino acids to do that. Now, so they're not essential amino acids, so it is possible to make them from your food if you're eating enough protein in the diet. So, really, oh, I gotta cut it off pretty quick here. I do have some final thoughts though, because I do want to talk about the eye factor a little bit. So, vitamin A does more than just help build eyes. It helps build new blood vessels. It helps build new lung tubes when you're a baby, or as a growing kid, mostly when you're a baby actually. At a certain point, those genes switch off. We don't know how. We haven't figured out any way to trigger the stem cell signaling in adult humans to build more lung tubes as of yet. We haven't figured that out, but I mean, we have laser surgery for eyes, which is, it's, I could say the same thing about the lungs as I could for the eyes. Really, there's a lot of things that we just don't know, but you can protect the eyes from disease, which the different carotenoids like lutein or beta carotene can do. Very fascinating stuff. I'd really like to look at that down the road, but unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. So, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.